Here we have dinner with family. Have dinner with family. When was the last time you and your family came together to eat? So you all came together to eat. Just like most people get together and family visit each other in the Eid. Families have dinners together. Or in Ramadan, families have dinners together. Okay. Here, eat at a fancy restaurant. Okay, the word fancy is something very beautiful. Very beautiful, very expensive. Okay? So, in America, an example of a fancy, let's all be like red lobsters. This is for seafood. So fish, shrimp, and everything in the water is very expensive. It's a fancy restaurant. Okay? So eat at a fancy restaurant. When was the last time you've been to a fancy restaurant? Okay, exercise. Do you go to a gym and work out? Stay strong and stay fit? When was the last time you exercised? Okay, I try to exercise every day. I went to the gym to exercise last week. Right? Have you ever gone fishing before? Have you ever gone fishing before? So go fishing. Okay? When I was younger, I used to go fishing with my uncle. When I was younger, I used to go fishing with my uncle. So, this right here, we call playing video games. So, did you play video games when you were younger? I played Mario. I played Pokemon games when I was young. Okay? So, play video games. Okay? And here we have hanging out with friends. Hanging out with friends. So, do you hang out with your friends or with your colleagues from work? So you go out with your friends to enjoy time. Some people enjoy going shopping. Some people go to cafes. Some people go to restaurants. And some people go to play sports. So hang with friends. Some men, when they hang out, they play pool. They play pool. Play pool. Okay? I played pool with my friends 2 years ago. I played pool with my friends 2 years ago. Okay. Here, sometimes we go out to the hotel and they sleep in. Okay? When you're very tired and you just go and just want to, just go to sleep. And you just go to sleep for the entire day because you're so tired and you just sleep in. Okay? I used to sleep in with my friends on the weekend. Okay, here, what do we have this? What is this here called? This is called going diving. 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 So if you live in Saudi Arabia, or maybe in Jordan, then there is the Red Sea. And there are lots of places to go scuba diving. go diving and see all of the coral reefs in the water. So go diving. Have you ever been diving before? Okay, this is one of my favorite activities. I love doing this. I used to do this all the time when I was younger. And this is called go skating. 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 Go skating. Okay? So you go skating. I went skating last year. Okay. Here what do we have? This is a game called play volleyball. Volleyball. Play volleyball. Okay? Have you ever played volleyball? I love playing volleyball, but I'm not good at it. Every time I play it, I lose. Okay? So play volleyball. Okay, this here is another activity called play paintball. Play paintball. This is a very fun game where you go and you and your friends, you go paintballing. So you practice learning how to shoot with paintball and you have fun. Okay, this is another game called bowling. So go into the bowling alley. Go to the bowling alley. Alright, so bowling is when you bowl with the ball and you throw it as hard as you can to hit all the balls. Alright? And here we have going to watch a movie in the theater. So watch a movie in the theater. Watch a movie in the theater. Watch a movie in the theater. Okay, here, take a short road trip. Take a short road trip. Have you ever drove from one place to another a long distance? So for example, driving from, let's say, Emirates to Saudi Arabia or to Qatar. Have you ever driven that distance before? It is nice to drive sometimes. You get a chance to be on the road and have fun. Okay, here you have practice soccer. Practice soccer. So do you play soccer? And did you play when you were younger? Soccer is a very fun game to play, and people all around the world play soccer. Okay, here you go, grocery shopping. So you go to buy groceries. You buy your groceries, okay? So do you buy your own groceries in the house, or does someone else buy them for you? Some people go out to shops like Carrefour and find, and they go to buy their groceries. Okay, we've all done this before when we were younger. And you do homework, right? Do your homework. You have to make sure you study and make sure you learn. So do homework. So have you done your homework? We said you should practice speaking every day. You should read. You should listen to English every day so you can get better. Okay, now let's read the following text. Read about Jack's weekend and then answer the questions. Last Saturday, I went to the beach. and played volleyball. I kept missing the ball and getting fouls. I think I broke a record of most fouls in one game. My team won, and we had lots of fun and good laughs. Okay, one more time. Last Saturday, I went to the beach and played volleyball. I kept missing the ball and getting fouls. I think I broke a record of most fouls in one game. My team won, and we had lots of fun and good laughs. Okay. On Sunday, I went to the hospital. My head felt strange. I told the doctor I felt a small pain in the side of my head. He asked me if I hit my head recently. He asked me if I hit my head recently. I told him that the ball kept hitting my head while I played volleyball. He gave me some medicine and said to be careful when playing volleyball. All right, one more time. On Sunday, I went to the hospital. My head felt strange. I told the doctor I felt a small pain on the side of my head. He asked me if I hit my head recently. I told him the ball kept hitting my head while I played volleyball. He gave me some medicine and said to be careful when playing volleyball. Okay. Let's see our questions. Okay. When did Jack go to the beach? Okay, so Jack had a weekend. So weekends are Saturdays and Sundays. So that's in America. Weekends are Saturdays and Sundays. Okay, so Jack went to the beach on what day? What did Jack do at the beach? What game did he play? Did Jack's team win or lose? Did Jack's team win or lose? Number 4, why did Jack go to the hospital? Why did Jack go to the hospital? Number 5, what did the doctor ask Jack? What did the doctor ask Jack? Number 6, what did the doctor give Jack? What did the doctor give Jack? Okay, so now let's read one more time so we can answer all of our questions, okay? Okay. Last Saturday, I went to the beach and played volleyball. I kept missing the ball and getting fouls. I think I broke a record of most fouls in one game. My team won, and we had lots of fun and good laughs. So he went to the beach on Saturday, and he played volleyball, and his team won. Okay. On Sunday, I went to the hospital. My head felt strange. I told the doctor I felt a small pain on the side of my head. He asked me if I hit my head recently. I told him the ball kept hitting my head while I played volleyball. He gave me some medicine and said to be careful when playing volleyball. Okay? So, when did Jack go to the beach? Jack went to the beach on Saturday. Jack went to the beach on Saturday. Okay. What did Jack do at the beach? I'm going to say Jack played volleyball. Jack played volleyball. Okay? Jack played volleyball. Did Jack's team win or lose? Which one? His team won. His team won. His team won. Okay. Why did Jack go to the hospital? Jack went to the hospital. Why? Because he had pain in his head. Because he felt pain in his head. Because he felt pain. Pain in his head. Okay? What did the doctor ask Jack? What did the doctor ask Jack? He asked Jack if he had hit his head. He asked Jack if he had hit his head. What did the doctor give Jack? What did the doctor give Jack? He gave Jack some medicine. He gave Jack some medicine. He gave Jack some medicine. Okay? He gave Jack some medicine. Alright, so that's it for these questions here. Now, today for our grammar, we'll be talking about the simple past regular verbs. Okay? So the simple past is used to describe an action that occurred and was completed in the past. Okay? The past simple is formed by adding ed to the base form of the verb. So, for example, walk, walked. Okay? I walk to school every day. I walked to school yesterday. I walked to school yesterday. I walked to school yesterday. Okay? Push, push, push. Okay? So, I pushed a table yesterday. I pushed a table yesterday. I pushed a table yesterday. Okay? I pushed a table yesterday. Greet, greet. Okay? I greeted her. I greeted her warmly. I greeted her warmly. Okay, watch and watch. I watched. I watched a movie yesterday. I watched a movie yesterday. I watched a movie yesterday. Okay? Alright, so look. I walked my dog to the park. I walked my dog to the park. He pushed the table over. He pushed the table over. They didn't greet me nicely. They didn't greet me nicely. They didn't greet me nicely. We watched the movie 5 times. We watched the movie 5 times. We watched the movie 5 times. Okay? So we see how all we did was add ed to our verb to make past simple. Okay? It's very simple and very easy. Okay? So we just add ed, and that is how we do it. So as we move on. Okay, so change the verbs to past simple in each sentence. For words that are crossed, add didn't. Okay? So we're going to do this right here. Before we do this, let's look at a video to have a better understanding so we can solve these problems much easier. Okay?
I live in Alabama, but last year I lived in Florida. The second sentence is in the past tense. The past tense tells about things that happened yesterday, last week, last year, or long time ago. There are many forms of past tenses. Today, we are going to learn how to use the past simple. The past simple is used for things that have finished. The rule to make a sentence in the past simple is to take the infinitive verb, that is, the verb in its simplest form, and add ed. Hold on, what is an infinitive verb? Let's look at some examples. Here is the verb look. In grammar books, we often see verbs written like this: to look, to talk, to see, to help. The infinitive is just the verb on its own without the to. Sometimes verbs have endings like s or ed. So you will see looks or looked, talks or talked. These are not infinitives. To get an infinitive, you must take off the s, ed, or any other ending so that you only have the verb and nothing extra. Let's look at some examples of how to make the past simple. Remember, you just want the infinitive and then you add ed. I walk. The infinitive of walk is walk. Now add ed to get walked. Another example is he passes. The infinitive of passes is pass. Now add ed to get passed. Yesterday, he passed his exams. Let's look at one more. She works. The infinitive of works is work. Now add ed and you get worked. Phoebe worked in a shop when she lived in Florida. There are a few very important exceptions to this rule. Or we could say, this rule doesn't always work. So when doesn't this rule work? When the infinitive already ends in e. If the infinitive already ends in e, you do not add ed, but just the d. For example, she changes the nappy. The infinitive of changes is change. Change ends in an e. To make this past simple, only add D. She changed the nappy. The next exception is when the infinitive ends in a consonant preceded by one vowel. Do you know what a consonant is? A consonant is a letter that is not a vowel. The vowels are A, E, I, O, and U. For instance, the word stop. Stop ends in the consonant P. The P is preceded by one vowel, O. To put stop in past simple, we have to double the last consonant and then add ed. So, I stop. Yesterday, I stopped. To plan is the same. To use it in past simple, we say planned. I planned a trip to New York last year. The next exception is when an infinitive ends in C. In this case, you add KED. For example, the word panic. Panic ends in C. To make it past simple, you add KED. So, they panic. Yesterday, they panicked. The last exception is when the infinitive ends in Y. When an infinitive ends in Y and you want to put it in past simple, the Y turns into an I and then add ed. For example, she carries. The infinitive of carries is carry. Carry ends in a Y. First, turn the Y into an I. Then add ed. Yesterday, she carried the suitcase to the airport. Now that you know how to form past simple, you need to know when to use it correctly. Use past simple when something has happened in the past and has finished. For example, a few years ago, I worked in the supermarket. I used to work there in the past, but I don't anymore. Use past simple. Also, use past simple when you indicate a time that is in the past. For example, we lived in Holland in 1991. 1991 is a time in the past. Use past simple. Also, use past simple when you express a habit in the past. For example, I collected stamps when I was a child. The habit was to collect stamps. The habit was there for a while, but I no longer have that habit now. Use past simple. Lastly, use past simple when you tell a story. Once upon a time, there was a farmer who lived in a small village. You can see with all these uses, past simple is always about something that is completely finished. Remember that. It is very important. Have a look at the grammar sheet and try some exercises to make sure you really understand it.